Hey, how you guys doing wherever you are in this planet, crazy planet called Earth, eh? Or as we call it in French, Earth in French is la terre. The Earth, la terre. There you go. So that's your French lesson for today. It's a beautiful day here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It's just been fantastic summer like these days. Beautiful poofy clouds there. Thunderstorm overnight. Well, not overnight, but last night. That was really cool to record that. I'm sure you'll see that soon enough. I always like to put interesting weather type videos, in AUTOMOTIVE. Yeah, I still got the Jean Beliveau drawing. This is the only drawing I ever actually did of somebody in full detail, large, and in color with layers of markers when I used to do these detailed drawings and markers for many years. And yeah, I want to get rid of it. So I've had it for years. It was the deal that fell through. It was one of the only times I was stupid not to take a payment in advance for artwork. And I did this, I think, 2011. Anyway, get rid of it, get it out of my site, 200 bucks. Come pick it up. Will I ship it? No. But if somebody's really serious, I'll ship it without the frame. That way it's cheaper and it won't break. Because the larger the frame, especially glass, the more chances it'll break. We don't want that, do we? Especially me, because I did customer service many years. So whatever I've done in customer service and sales, it's the same thing coming out of my place, whether people, they come buy stuff from me or I ship. It is my pleasure. So anyway, I had this idea for a while. I said, well, I got to show some of my drawings again. They're bringing some coin there because, again, business is a great, it was great for a while, but this week, past week, 2 weeks, not great. I met one of my fans. It was really nice of him to spend some money when he would come in and talk and all that. Really nice guy. So a shout out to you, Julio, if you hear me. If you hear me. Can you hear me? No, if you see this video. So if you guys been watching a long time, I did these paintings over the last, most recent, this one and this guy I did this year. This one, I think I did this almost 2 years ago, maybe, or a year and a half ago. And this one I did, I think, probably in August, something like that. So anyway, so these were, the 3 out of the 4 were, except for this one, were 300 bucks, but I need to move some art again, once again, gotta pay the bills, the rent, food, and all that jazz, so it's not going to pay itself. I'm not on welfare or anything like that. So instead of $300 for these 3 each, they're $250 each, especially that one's a very good deal, the 69 Cadillac. Then there's the interior. I did it just like my dad's 79 Delta 88 he had back between 1984 and 91 when I was in my formative old classic car years. And these guys here, this one and the 63 Impala are 12 by 18. You can see these are not the originals, they're not duplicates. And so again, $250 for that. Oddly enough, I had a friend, my friend's named Simon. Those who've been watching a long time, of course, Simon turned out to be too much like me, so that was, this friendship didn't last, but we had a good time with that 79 Delta. It had the same color interior, well, almost anyway. It's a little bit, the color's askew a little bit, not a big deal, but right, beautiful works. This one I did just a few months ago, 63 Impala, with a background that I came up with after I saw a building with this, which doesn't have it anymore, by the way, because I took the picture of that wall back in, whatever, I don't know, 2016, 17 or something. And I thought I would include it for this painting. And it's not there anymore, so it makes it all the more special. Yeah, this one also is $250 instead of $300. Love the 63 Impalas. I have one. Oh, there. No, wait, where is it? It's not. Where's my 63 Impala? Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, I kind of looked at it quick when I did that painting. So I did this 63 Impala model back in the 90s. One of my cleanest builds, and I kept it. I didn't sell it, So yeah, these models, they're not really for sale. People ask me about that. I'm like, they're not really for sale, meaning, and if something's not really for sale, that means that everything is for sale, but it depends on the price, right? So anyway, yeah, something like that. Generally not for sale, but I mean, if somebody made me an offer, like, well, that I couldn't refuse, you can't refuse, Oh, incidentally, for you bus boys, especially you guys who are Montreal City bus drivers, or you were STM or STCUM or CTCUM Montreal bus drivers, well, then there's this drawing I did back in '09. Memories of the sometimes I'd ride in the front of the bus if it was really packed. I'd sit right there watching the driver turn that big ass wheel there on one of those GM New Looks. And even this, I want to get rid of it. So 200 bucks for this. Normally it's 250 or more. And oh, and I forgot to say, for these guys it's 30 bucks to ship. And this guy here though, sorry, so yeah, like I said, 250 for all these three each, 250 each. And but this guy here took less work. It's a 16 by 20, it's smaller, so believe it or not, I only want 150 for this guy, so 170 shipping included. So yeah, again, add $30 each on the shipping for these ones. And I'm not making these numbers up. I've been shipped, you know, all over Canada and occasionally US, so I know what things are. So now I'm going to stop here. I'm going to go through my portfolio here that has my old drawings as well. Oh yeah, and at this point I forgot to mention, you want to get in touch with me directly. Elton McFall, Elton like Elton John, McFall, M-C-F-A-L-L, McFall, eltonmcfall at hotmail.com. Okay, boys and girls, now we're looking at some old drawings that I did, I think pretty much between 09 and 2012, and then that's it. I didn't do any more drawings for a long time. I didn't do any paintings. But so this Dodge Challenger 2009 RT was a drawing I did when I first saw this thing in a showroom at a Chrysler dealer in the western part of Montreal, at Source Dodge Chrysler, and they had this. I said, holy mackerel. I was like, oh my god, I was enthralled by it because it's totally a throwback styling, much better than a PT Cruiser, and even much more successful actually. And originally, actually, I'd done it like I think they had this old school kind of military metallic kind of green color, and I don't know, I figured nobody wanted it. Nobody showed interest. I said, I'll just paint it black. Not a big deal, because again, it's just pen and markers. And I said, why not have a project 71 Challenger on a tow truck there? Even if I remember correctly, I'd even put some like correct, like 66 or so with Dodge hubcaps, you know, 67. And this is drawn on a thin artist paper. It's like, I can't remember what size, 15 by 23 or something. Look, it's got a little crimple there, but it's cool. You can see the ink that went through it, so it shows it's original. And there's still a lot of work in this. I'm going to say 80 bucks, and that's it. I'm not going lower than 80 bucks. That's a good deal. And I don't think there'll be any drawings in here. Actually, it'll be less than that even. Such as this one here, which is larger, which is almost all pen and markers, except the cloud here. This is all this here is paint, acrylic paint. That's when I started dabbling with that. And this is an idea I had even in the early 2000s to do like I called the drawing Unsuspected Trooper, you know, so it looks like something would take place somewhere in the States, right? And maybe, you know, freaking, what's it called there? Tornado Alley, you know, like somewhere, Oklahoma, Texas, Iowa, whatever, Kentucky. And yeah, it's self-explanatory. It shows my love for the 59 Fords. This is a 59 Ford Custom. This was a base model, popular with fleets like police taxi. And to have a tornado coming from behind there. And this I did, I think, in 2011. And you can see the paint, some of the paint, or not just paint, but ink ran through. And these aren't cheaper to ship, by the way, eh? Like, seriously, I remember I sold one of these years ago. There was a couple of trucks at a truck stop. I remember I paid, like, I think 20 bucks to ship it, and that was years ago. So they'd probably go by tube. So yeah, I'm thinking like 25 bucks for shipping. So this like 100 and I'd take 100 bucks for it. I wouldn't take any less than that. Even this one, I'd take 100 bucks for it as well. I mean, obviously I think they're worth more. They're originals, heavy gauge paper. This is basically like the first school bus I remember taking as a kid. That was the only time I took the school bus to go to school. Every other place I lived, because this was in Laval, just north of Montreal, and then we lived in Terrebonne, and then we lived in Roxborough in West Island, and I always walked to school. But that was the only time. I was 5 years old, and it was this Ford B800 circa 79, 77, 78, and Ford, the body built by, would have been a Superior, I think, or Carpenter body, because it had that canted windshield there, so it's really neat, you know. And I remember I even went online to see what that street we lived on for a few years was called. It was called Valliere Street. I think it's Chomedy. We lived there from, oh, I don't know, late 70s until 82. And there's a good old GMC 6000. Actually, that was probably maybe the coolest one I've ever seen of its type. I mean, this is a kind of truck that was really built in an age where the expression was, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they made those from 73 to 91 without any significant changes, specifically in design. And yeah, this is an actual a company truck that belonged to this company called Solder. They were based out of Laval. And I remember I took, this is literally from a photo, a couple of photos I took of this truck in downtown Montreal, and it was on St. Catherine Street. And yeah, $100 for that as well. I think it was something I wanted to say, but I forgot my train of thought. Obviously, I never saw. I think I saw this truck one time after that, and that was like, I took the photo I think in '06. So you know, it's again, that's why I love photography, just freezing all these moments forever. You know. This is a drawing. Actually, no, sorry. This is a drawing I did. This one and the next one, or a couple that actually I did. So not too many years ago. Actually, I think 2018, 17. Another idea I had to do a Cadillac Eldorado driving by Cadillac Metro Station, and it was cool to do a mix mostly of, you know, paint and ink, but as you can see, this paper wasn't meant to be used with paint, so it's all wavy. I tried flattening it best I could. It's not bad, you know, it's not great, but obviously if it was to be framed properly, you know, that is to say with the right amount of pressure from the back, then you know it's doable. You know, it definitely should look better, a lot better framed. And there you go. So that one, same as the other one. I'm gonna take $100. This one I want a little bit more out of all those. Actually, all those I said $100. Now this one I always want more, like 120, because it's just so well done. Matter of fact, I even passed by this station yesterday on the 108. That was with Grant. We just went for a ride with the hell of it because we were tired as hell. We walked up Mount Royal yesterday. Yesterday was the 22nd, I think. And we took a ride in the hybrid. And you know, when hybrid is nice, when it's hot like this, it's got freaking air conditioning. So we just took it from downtown just to go for a ride, just to see what we could see. And we got off at, I think, de l'Église, and just basically walked down to Verdun Metro Station. So this is one of my favorite metro stations, La Salle Metro Station. And it was actually, oddly enough, built around the same time, if I'm not mistaken, as when these buses, the last of these, what they're known as Brills, they were made by Canadian Car. And again, they were made so well, some of them were in service up until the end in '82, so they were like 30 years old. And this one was, with this particular bus, was actually restored even. I actually don't remember if I changed maybe the fleet number on it, but anyway, I saw this bus in person at Granby many years ago. And then I saw it in more recent years. It's just my favorite of the show. Actually, it was hard to do this one in terms of I'd colored the body on the bus, but it wasn't the right brown. It was like a shit brown color. And this is, well, this is kind of too, but it's much more like of, you know, back in the day. And then I also, which I used paint. And then the cloud here, you know, experimenting again with some paint as well. Okay, and now we have, oh shit, I don't see my Tucker art prints. Well, I guess we'll save that for another time. Then this drawing, some of you guys might remember seeing it, me doing this live, not live, but in a sense of, you know, actually like filming myself drawing this from memory. So again, going back 63 Impala, like I showed before, the painting. It's actually funny, I've done a big drawing of a 63 Impala. You saw the painting of the gold 63 Impala, but I don't know why I never did a 64. I love this 64, so I guess that'll be in the plans. And this one, $50, you know, there, price to sell, man. You know, right? Me, I always tell people when they come over, look, I'm the opposite of eBay, okay? eBay is like freaking, if it's not, the item is cheap, the shipping is going to be expensive, you're going to get charged for something else. The eBay is like freaking banks and insurance companies. They've figured every rich way to screw people out of money needlessly. So those vintage ads I have thousands of here, I charge on average, you know, $5 more or less. I mean, if it's really cool, it'd be more than that, but you know, generally, even my shipping, I charge like $4 to send an ad or plenty of them. So that's how I get a lot of repeat business, and well, not lately, and people will come over to buy stuff because they're not usually going to come and just buy one ad. You know what I mean? It's just much more fun and a better deal if you buy a lot. That's just how I work. So, okay, the freaking GoPro is extremely hot now. So, like I said, Elton McFall at hotmail.com. Drop me a line if you're interested in something, and yeah, it'll be glad for me to ship that out to you, either, you know, here in Canada or in the States. You're welcome to come over and look at the collection if you want. Look at drawings and paintings. And my place, I always tell people, is basically a mini transportation museum. This is what it is, you know. And boy, is it ever hot in that office. Like this here too, you know. Like here's a collage I did in 2009 of all these cars I photographed, all my best photos from the Orange Julep restaurant. And I glued them all together, you see, and I all did all that by hand painting, and the canvas is all like 3 coats of gold paint, and there's the new look bus. So yeah, I won't listen. I'm sure you won't waste my time, and I certainly will not waste your time. So help out a guy. You want to show your love and support. This is the best way. You know, I used to have people send me money. Sometimes it's always nice. I even met people that give me money. That's great. But you know, the best thing I could ask for is, of course, for you to buy something if you can. And that's it, because you can see I really don't have any money, but I love what I do, and that's really the bottom line. So thanks again for watching, guys. Take it easy, have yourselves a good one. We'll see you at the next video. Bye bye.